Boost the Cuse 2023 rolls on. Scott Hansen, pleased to be with you live from the Dick Clark Studios in the Newhouse School of Public Communications. It is 11:44 on the East Coast, 8:44 for our friends out west. Shout out to Los Angeles, shout out California, my current home state. And it's almost dinner time in Tuscany, which is where we will head live at the end of this particular segment of the show as we roll on for 16 straight hours of broadcast to celebrate all things orange and to generate a spirit of generosity for our alumni to help this great university propel itself forward. When we go there, we'll talk to Sasha Perugini, director of Syracuse University Abroad's program in Florence. Shout out, Italy. We'll be there in just a little bit. But before we head across the Atlantic, we're going to take a stroll down the Einhorn Family Walk. I did it late last night when I got in from Los Angeles. Amazing and beautiful as always. We'll go from here in Newhouse to the Shine Student Center. Check in with my student co-host for the day, David Barbier. David, you're a senior, I know, and you plan to head to Los Angeles. Don't go all Hollywood on us now, David, after graduation, but we'll see you out there in California. But first, you've got some work there at the Shine Student Center, and you might win Best Dressed here. I don't know if the camera can pan down. You've got the Syracuse crest, the logo on the blazer. Tell me about the outfit here, and then we'll get into your business there at Shine. Hey, David.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good, man.
Hi, everyone. I'm David Barbier, Jr., and I'm reporting live from the Shine Student Center. Scott, this jacket that I'm wearing is the FOSAC Forever Orange Student Alumni Council blazer. Only those on the council and the chancellor are able to get them, so I'm so sorry, but the swag is not up for sale.
Oh, what if I give a big donation? Still no?
Well, I'm not in charge of those decisions being made, but I could put in a good word for you.
There you go, my man, David. Thank you.
So with reporting live from the Shine Student Center, it is bustling. It's 11:44. Students are here. A day is unfolding, and I'm so fortunate enough to be joined by an Our Time Has Come scholar, Kristen, who is a senior TV, radio, and film major. Kristen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
Please talk to me a little bit about why you decided to come to Syracuse.
I decided to come to Syracuse because of the amazing Orange Network and community. They offer a lot of resources here that really benefited me for my 4 years while I was here, and SI School of Newhouse, of course.
Now, I mentioned earlier you were an Our Time Has Come scholar. Can you talk about the importance of how that scholarship has impacted you here?
So the Our Time Has Come scholarship is for low-income students, and I do fit into that category, and I have the L. Kelly Atkinson Jr. scholarship, and that helped me, especially within my last year here at Syracuse. It helped me kind of push through and get the last little bit of money that I needed to finish my education, which is very important to me.
Well, I'm also an Our Time Has Come scholar, and I've seen you at our meetings. If you had to give a message to the people out there about the importance of donating, what would you say?
It helps students like me who just need that little extra help to, get through the 4 years here. It is important that everybody is able to have access to education, and anything helps.
Thank you, Kristen. With Boost the Cuse, it's so important for everyone to give back to the university because, like me and Kristen, we wouldn't be here without the support of our global SU community. So thank you so much, and I look forward to being with you guys through today. I'm David Barbier. Back to you, Scott.
David, thank you. Keep rocking that blazer and representing there, as I can hear that it's picking up during the beginning of lunch hour here on campus. I'll try and make it over there and check out what you got going on at Shine in a little bit. All right, I'm pumped for this next conversation as well. A young Syracuse grad who's making a name for himself in my industry and so many other industries, Newhouse grads, sports broadcasting. And like me, he calls the Los Angeles area home. Noah Eagle, class of 2019, now working as the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. He's also been the voice of NFL on Nickelodeon, which if you've watched those in recent years, The next generation of Syracuse great broadcasters is cultivating the next generation of pro football fans, doing great work there. He does college football on Fox, and this fall, the Big Ten on NBC. Now, I'm filling you up here, Noah. You're still a young guy here. You got big shoes to fill with your father, Ian Eagle, an alum, and the rest of us, but it's great to have you here on Boost the Cuse 2023. How are you, sir?
Scott, I appreciate it. It's good to talk to you. I finally feel like we have this connection, this bond, and I'm looking forward to a nice conversation here. But yeah, I'm ready to run through a wall. I know it's a little earlier on the West Coast right now, so I'm just starting my day. But I've got the bright, vibrant orange on. I've got, to your point, my slime hat right here, so I've got it all ready to go on deck. If you're ready to take it all the way there,
I've never been slimed. It's not on my bucket list as a sports broadcaster.
I really don't care. I'm going to make it happen.
Well, and you and the NFL team up, and the NFL writes my checks, it probably will happen. I'm looking up at the studio here. We're clear right now. I didn't know if that had been a setup, although I've got another 12 hours or so of broadcasting here. Hey, Boost the Cuse, you're part of really the current generation. Your graduation year, and you're doing excellent in your career right out of Newhouse. This generation has experienced these facilities that I'm enjoying here at Newhouse today, completely different from my days in the early 90s or your father's days or going back into earlier generations. What did it mean to you to be a part of this era, this decade of Syracuse graduates, and then trying to continue the amazing legacy of broadcasters and sportscasters in particular?
Yeah, Scott, it was a huge deal. I think when I was going through the college process and trying to figure out exactly what made the most sense for me, a lot of people assumed that Syracuse was just a given. My parents met there, and my sister ended up going there. So when you see the orange blood is real and certainly pumping through our veins, but it wasn't necessarily like that. For me, it was, okay, I want to make my own name. I want to figure out how I can do that to the best of my ability and really create this Noah Eagle persona, or brand, as everyone likes to use it now. So I looked all over. I looked at Maryland and USC and UCLA and Indiana and Miami, and I said, what's going to make the most sense? And what I ended up realizing after going to all these different places was, oh, no, Central New York is the best of all the options. All of the facilities there are the best of all the options. All of the professors there are the best of all the options. It just had everything that I could ask for. And I didn't even get into WAER and Citrus TV and Z89 and eventually the ACC network and everything else that comes with it, the package deal that you get to really experience. So I really just ended up being the perfect storm of everything. But there was a funny moment where, I think my parents were pretty good about understanding, because deep down they wanted me to carry on the orange tradition. I think any parent that's proud of their kid wants to see them look and act the same way that they did maybe when they were younger. And so I think my parents deep down wanted me to go to Syracuse, but they didn't voice it. They let me make that decision. But there was one point where I'm going through my essays or something, and I think I was talking to my parents, and my dad goes, yeah, when you get to Syracuse. And I was like, huh? What'd you say? And he goes, I mean, if you go to Syracuse, if you go to Newhouse. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But he was right. It was a win, and it was a good win.
Your dad doesn't slip up words very much. I'm guessing that was more subliminal messaging than it was, oh, it's a slip of the tongue. I just said, when, not if. But hey, Noah, you may not know this. There was a group of students, you can't see them in here, but a group of students that just swung by, and I think they're representing class of 2023 and probably future classes as well. What would you say to someone in this current Newhouse climate and sports broadcasting or television climate about transitioning from the Hill and your Newhouse education to trying to become a professional?
I mean, first thing I'd say is that you're going to feel prepared. Don't get too worried about feeling like you're taking this crazy next step, because you've done it all already, whether it's in the classroom with BDJ 464 and 465, or whether it's outside the classroom with, as mentioned, the WAERs or the Z89s or the Daily Oranges or any of these extracurricular experiences that you've gotten. And I call them experiences because that's what they are. they're professional level experiences. For me, broadcasting games at the time Carrier Dome and now the JMA Wireless Dome, I was around these high level national broadcasters coming to do the game. You know, Dan Schulman's coming in and speaking to us. Sean McDonough, of course, an alum, coming and doing huge national broadcasts. And every time you see him, you're around him. You've got to act like him. You've got to feel like you're on the same level as him. And that's what I think is so great about Syracuse is, one, you're going to have all those great alums who come back like yourself, Scott, and eventually, hopefully, like me, as I make my way back east at some point to Syracuse. But the second part of it is you're around these people so much that you start to feel like them. You start to say, oh, I'm that too. And so when you make that transition, it's easy. It feels natural and normal. But the second thing I'd say is don't lose sight of who you are. Always remember that individuality wins out in this profession. As long as you remain true to that and don't stray away because you feel like I need to assimilate or fit in or check some box off for some employer. No. What's going to check the box off is that you're different than everybody else. And there's only one you. And in this business, in my opinion, there's nothing more valuable than that.
Noah Eagle, thank you so much for the time. You got a game tonight, right? You got a game?
Oh yeah, big game, Scott. Big one. Come on, I know you're locked in.
Lay it on me. Go ahead, lay it on the audience.
We got Clippers Thunder, a lot to still be determined in the Western Conference right now. Everything jumbled up. So I can't go full red zone with it, but I can just focus one at a time.
You got it, bud. Well, I just underscored that because Noah giving back to the alma mater, giving of his time on a game night for him. Thank you for letting us interrupt your prep. And I speak for everyone when I say keep pouring it and keep giving it forward. And I speak for myself when I say keep your slime to yourself.
Oh, you see, you got ahead of me because I was going to say,
nope.
I will find you. And I will slime.
Anticipation skills. Mine are honed a little further than yours, young Jedi, here at the Newhouse School. Hey, no, I appreciate you, buddy. Can't wait till we're in the same time and we can toast our great in the same place we can toast our great alma mater. Appreciate you. Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay. All right. Noah Eagle, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, tonight we are going to head across the Atlantic for our next conversation. We're going to chat with Sasha Perugini, director of the Syracuse program in Florence for more than a decade, and she's a native of Tuscany. If you studied abroad during your time at Syracuse, you know that those experiences are absolutely transformative. Sasha joins us right now from Villa Rosa, Syracuse University's center in Florence. I'm sure I mispronounced it without an Italian accent. Sasha, I apologize for that, but I thank you and welcome you to Boost the Cuse 2023. How is the semester going there in Italy?
It's fantastic. Thank you. And no mispronunciation. I was impressed, actually. You pronounced my last name very well. So, your Italian 101 is right on track. Perfect.
Thank you so much. And by the way, I thank all of the planners because I had a phonetic spelling of your name to make sure that I give you the proper introduction here. Something that we learn at Newhouse for sure.
You passed. So it's all well here. There's a picture behind me. I wanted to make sure you got a glimpse.
Yeah, let's see it. Yep.
What the Villa Rosa looks like. It's exactly as it's in the picture. It's shiny. It's shining. The sun is out. The students are out in the garden, and professors are, having their classes out. We have turtles that are already strolling in the garden. It's almost the end of the semester, so all going very well.
How about they told me that there is a new scholarship that's been established for architecture students studying in Florence. Now, to someone, a novice in that world, to me, I just hear architecture studying Florence. That sounds world class to me. Can you fill in the details for us, please?
Absolutely. We have this very structured and historic program that just celebrated its 40th year. And this is a new global study endowed scholarship established by Bernie Armstrong, a Syracuse architecture alum, class of 1985. Bernie was deeply influenced by the opportunity he had to study architecture in Italy, which expanded his understanding of the value of architectural education and studying abroad. This scholarship will make it possible for more students to take advantage of the opportunity to study architecture in Italy and in Europe. while pursuing a professional degree. It is a very generous gesture and one that will help many other students.
The philanthropy that is happening here in central New York, around the United States, and in multiple countries now, including Italy, goes to impact hopefully each and every Orange life here on campus, studying abroad, and those who will come in the future. How else is philanthropy used to specifically impact the study abroad experience?
So I'm glad you asked. We recently received a 10 million donation from Life trustee Daniello and his
Wow.
wife. Yes. Now, he has a very touching story. He came to Florence in 1966, and this was 7 years after the Florence program was established, which was established in 1959. And keep in mind, I want to say this, I want to make sure that students hear this. This was a time where students were coming abroad by boat. So they were traveling the ocean on the boat. They were starting to study on the boat and arriving here in Italy, and then study at the Villa Rosa, which is the building that you see behind me. So the fall of 1966 was a particular semester because in October of 1966, Florence experienced the tragic flooding that we still talk about these days. And so Daniello was one of the mud angels and helped locals. This was a flooding during which Florence lost a major portion of its cultural and artistic treasure and patrimony. And Daniel Danilo was one of the mud angels who helped the locals. So decades afterwards, now he donated back to the program, to Syracuse University, to the program, and to the city. And the mayor of the city was so grateful that he offered Daniello the keys to the city to him. So this is a beautiful story. And thanks to this donation, we will, in Florence, will not only be able to make study abroad accessible to more students in general, to non-traditional students, but also enhance our facilities, make them more accessible, update them, improve pedagogy, improve the experiential learning component of our curriculum, and continue to offer exclusive and unique opportunities to our students. So this is a very important gesture for us.
Unbelievable. And the Daniello family that so many of us know in and around the campus here, impacting lives truly all over the globe with their generosity and philanthropy. Sasha, one last question for you. We can tell your pride of your Orange pride, all those thousands of miles or kilometers away there. What makes you most proud as the director of Syracuse Florence?
So there are many, many things that make me grateful and deeply proud of being part of this large global team. I have the honor and privilege of working in an incredibly rich, vibrant, and global environment with a deeply rooted profile of academic prestige and excellence. I'm grateful that in addition to students, we also attract scholars, artists, public figures, and high-profile guest speakers all the time. For instance, next week we will have the Mayor of Florence talking with the students about what it means to be running a city as international as Florence is, which feels small, but is not as small as it feels. And he will be talking with students what it means to be running a city, particularly in the European context, in this very intense historical moment. So this is the kind of intellectual energy that I'm surrounded with all the time, and keeps me energized and keeps the environment where I'm working energizing, stimulating, nourishing. So every single day of work is for me an opportunity to learn. And of course, I'm very proud of this, proud to be surrounded by high-profile faculty and impressive colleagues who contribute to our mission day after day with inspiring dedication.
All right, well, before we let you go, I just want to make another appeal to those who studied abroad as part of their Syracuse University experience. Now is the perfect time to make that donation. Use the link right here on the live stream that you're watching. You can earmark it. We promise we will get it to the place that you intended for. Sasha Perugini, thank you so much. All the best to our Orange family there in Italy. Come see us in Central New York, and we would love to return the favor and come see you over there in Europe as well. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that will do it for this edition at 44 minutes after the hour. Up next, we go in past the lunch hour, 12:44 as our next broadcast. And ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, as I like to say on NFL Red Zone. Syracuse head football coach Dino Babers live with us on Boost the Cuse 2023. We'll see you at 12:44.